Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to episode 38 of the Purple Pennies weekly coin news video. For those of you who haven't watched before, my name's Mark and I'm one of the owners of the Purple Penny Coin Shop in Mawson Lakes, South Australia, Australia. These videos, we have them every week to just cover what's happening in the world of coins and talk about what it's like to run a coin shop, and we try to have a topic every week to keep people interested and spread a bit of information out there for those of you who are just getting into the hobby. So last week was very busy, actually. Very busy. We bought a lot of stuff last week and a very interesting mix of stuff, including a big collection of South Australian football memorabilia of all things. If you follow me on Facebook, or follow the Purple Penny on Facebook, I should say, you would know that we buy a lot of things that aren't coins, and last week it happened to be South Australian National Football League memorabilia. Very strange, I know, but what are you going to do? Other news last week, of course, Catherine had a birthday last Thursday. I haven't been able to convince her to come into the video today. She's just over there doing the packaging that has piled up over the weekend. And our other bit of news is that Zuri, our trainee guide dog, we do post the occasional picture of Zuri. She's leaving us next week, which is a little sad for us. It's always a bit of a bittersweet moment when the dogs leave us, and Zuri has been with us for over a year, and we've had enough dogs now to say that Zuri is very unique and makes us laugh, and she will be sadly missed, but she is going to go on to become a therapy dog for a person with PTSD, and she will do much better doing that and serve a great purpose doing that than just being someone's pet. She will be missed, but we'll be jumping straight in with another dog within a week or two, hopefully, after she leaves us. So we'll just say a few hellos because we've got a bunch already. Hello Sharon and Alex, Cam, happy birthday for last week, Cam. Paul, Ben, Ogie, Mike, Paul number 2, Gwen, John Belcher, Michael Edwards, Ash, hello Peter and Val and Gary, Andrew and Matthew. And Ash says go Tigers, so I'm guessing that's some sort of non-AFL team, so yeah, go whatever team that is. Very solidly AFL based here, me. I don't know what's going on with other codes in Australia. Right, let's jump into the news. Now, you probably saw it yesterday and on Saturday in various news outlets that a Wiggles coin set has been announced. It's being distributed through Woolworths and the Royal Mint, the Royal Australian Mint. I believe you can purchase it directly from them, and Mint distributors as well. It's got 4 coloured $2 coins in it and 2 non-coloured dollar coins. I'm just trying to think. The Possum Magic sets had sort of a similar thing in it, but they had the 1 cent piece in it, and also the Commonwealth Games set had 4 $2 coins and $2 coins. The $2 coins, I believe, are going to go into circulation. I don't know if you'll be able to buy bags or individual coins from Woolworths. I suspect not. The folders themselves with the 6 coins in them are $15. We're not allowed to share pictures yet, which is odd because you can just go and have a look at news.com.au and you'll see pictures of all the coins there. The 4 coloured $2 coins have 4 different Wiggles characters: Dorothy the dinosaur, Wags the dog, Henry the octopus, and Captain Feathersword. And then the 2 uncoloured dollar coins include the 2 iterations of the Wiggles, although we're up to our 3rd iteration at the moment. So the original Wiggles, which my kids grew up with, and then the second group of Wiggles, which I have no idea who they are. We will have them in store here, and if you do want to pick those up, please come in and see us. Yes, Cameron says quite rightly, Mr. Squiggle had 4 $2 coins in it. And hello Patrick, how are you? October releases are next Thursday, so Thursday of next week. That's the latest set of releases from the Mint. There's still shipping delay on most of that. The only ones that will be available to ship out on release day or to pick up in store are the RSPCA coins and the Mungo Footprints coins. The other coins are still on delay, and of course that does include the ambulance rolls and the ambulance C mint marks. 2021 mint sets, the Indigenous flag mint sets, are coming to end of life. The new mint sets are usually announced in November. I believe, just based on an email we got last week, that the mint is fulfilling all existing orders for Indigenous mint sets, and that will probably be it. So if you haven't got one yet, or you're thinking about hoarding a few, then I would be getting in soon, because they will become unavailable from mint distributors probably in the next month or so. Couple of interesting bits of coin news that popped up this week, thanks to Alex for this first one here. Facebook has been approached by 4 major numismatic associations in the USA to ask them to prevent advertising of counterfeit coins, counterfeit gold, counterfeit silver bullion and things like that on Facebook. Not just paid advertising, but also people setting up business pages to sell fake items. And I believe it's gone to the point now where scammers are actually duplicating pages of existing businesses and trying to sell fake products through those pages. They're doing their best to sort of dupe people in and sell fake products that can be bought for, cents from Alibaba and places like that. So well done on the 4 organisations in the USA that have approached Facebook to try to stop that from happening. I am aware that that exact case happened about a month ago, that there was a Facebook page that was selling fake silver 1-ounce coins and had sucked in a number of people. And I saw one of our very own Australian dealers here posting up that a duplicate of their page was sending out messages to people to try and scam them in to do something or other. Michael says, good luck getting Facebook to stop it. Yeah, I agree, Michael. They won't do anything about it. But organisations, I think it was NGC and PMG and a couple of other organisations I haven't heard of before, kudos to them for actually trying something, and it did get into the news, so hopefully that just raises awareness a little bit. The last item here, I do like these treasure finding stories, was 2 Spanish free divers, and a free diver is just a diver that doesn't use breathing apparatus, I believe. They were cleaning up rubbish off of the ocean floor just off the coast of Spain, and they found 53 gold Roman coins amongst the trash that they were cleaning up, and they were mostly late Eastern Empire coins, and in fairly good condition, and probably worth $800 to $1,500 each. So not a bad find if you're just out having a bit of a swim, cleaning up a bit of rubbish, and they're not too bad. They're not a bad effort at all. So Peter says that he's found Facebook reasonably good at removing scam coin ads. Now, Facebook is advertising coins and currency on Facebook goes against their terms and conditions, and it used to be that it was almost impossible to get an ad or a Facebook Marketplace ad through that system, but I've seen more and more of those coin and banknote ads slipping through. And now I don't know about scam coin ads and things like that, about reporting them. Peter, if you've got any specific information you'd like to share with me, please let me know, and I will pass it on to people next week. I'll be interested to know how you've gone about getting rid of those things. Right. I thought we'd talk about clip coins today, clip planchet errors, because it's a topic that I enjoy. And Catherine and I were looking through some of our coins yesterday, and I actually saw a couple of nice clip planchets in there that I had forgotten about. So I thought I would just share a bit of information on clip coins today. So those of you who aren't aware of the way that coins are manufactured, generally it's a 2, 3 or 4 step process. The first step is neglecting cleaning and annealing and things like that, which is to clean up the planchets, and annealing softens the planchets and things like that. But basically you make the blanks, and then if the coin requires it, then you put a rim on the blanks, and then the last step is that you strike the blanks to make coins. Now, the process of making blanks is, and I've actually, back when I was an engineer, I actually worked with a company that made washers, and the process is exactly the same to make washers as used to make coin blanks. Basically, it's a strip of metal of the correct thickness that's run through a punch press, and the punch press has a nest of punches on it, and by nest I mean a group of punches, so multiple blanks are punched out at the same time. And basically the metal strip whizzes through the machine, at several meters a second, and this punch goes whack, 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 at a huge rate of knots, and punches out blanks. Now, clip planchets are areas that form from failures in that process, and it might be the metal strip becomes off-centered and you end up with blanks being punched out across the edge of the strip. The feed speed might vary somewhat, and you end up with blanks that are punched out from an area that has already had other blanks punched from it. And then the final one I'm going to talk about today is where the blank is punched out from the end of the strip, a poorly finished end of the strip. Now, that diagram there, it's a fairly crude diagram, but it gives you a good idea of the different types of errors that can occur. So the red one there is what we call a straight clip. It's clipped from the edge of the strip, or maybe the end of the strip. The yellow one is a curved clip planchet. So we've got two planchets that are punched out over the top of each other. So the first one is punched out, and then the next one overlaps that punched out region, and you end up with a missing area of the blank. And then the green one there we've got has been punched out at the end of the strip of metal, and the end of the strip of the metal isn't finished nicely. It has a ragged or rough appearance, and that's what we would call a ragged clip planchet. So we'll just have a quick look at each of those types in more detail. So the first one here, we've got a straight clip planchet. So this is a 2 cent, and you can see it's got a beautiful straight edge there. And if you actually examine the edge of it, it's quite neat. It's clearly been cut off that way or parted that way. It's not ragged at all. It doesn't include any voids or inclusions. So clearly this blank was punched out from the edge of the strip, or perhaps from the neatly finished end of the strip, and it went through the minting process, and we ended up with what's called a straight clip planchet. Now, straight clip planchets are probably the second most common type of clip planchet. So, probably have a little bit more value than curved clip planchets, but not as much as ragged clip planchets or elliptical clips. So the second type of clip planchet we'll look at is the ragged clip, and this is probably my favourite type of clip because it really shows you that there has been a failure in the manufacturing process. So this is another 2 cent piece. All the errors I'm showing you today are 2 cent pieces. You can see the edge there is it's not straight. It goes inwards at some areas, it goes outwards at others, and if you actually examine the edge and the rim near the clipped region, you can see planchet flaws and inclusions and just dags, and it's not a great piece of metal. Now, to me, that's almost certainly come from an improperly finished end of the strip. So, rolling a metal strip backwards and forwards, you're not going to end up with a beautiful straight end to it. Generally, it would need to be cut off to give you that straight end, and in this case, that hasn't happened. So, the blank has been punched out when it should have stopped, or this should have been caught at inspection, but it wasn't, and was sent through, and a coin was made out of it, much to my delight, because it's mine. And then the last one that we will talk about today is the most common type of clip, which of course is the curved clip. So you can just see it highlighted in yellow there in my terrible diagram. So this is a blank that was punched out of a region that already had another blank punched out of it. And you end up with that characteristic curve there. This is the one that you'll see most often. It is the most common type. So that's a curved clip planchet. And I think just for a bit of a laugh, because I know he's here watching, one of our regulars, Alex, happened to find this in a roll today. It's a double curved clipped 5-cent piece. So, you know, all the examples that I just showed you there were coins that just had a single clip on it. But of course, the way that the punches are nested, there's no guarantees that you'll just get one overlap. You can easily end up with 2 overlaps or even 3 overlaps. And in this case, we've got 2 overlaps. So this blank was punched out of an area that was already, part of that metal was already taken by 2 other blanks. And this is very uncommon, and to find one in a roll is quite remarkable. So well done, Alex. And I don't think Alex has been noodling for that long, so a good find in the first week or 2 of noodling by someone. I've certainly never found a clip planchet in a roll before, so congratulations to Alex. And you know, something like this is probably worth 4 or 5 times the amount that a single clip planchet is. And you know, a triple clip planchet, you can probably double that again. I've seen less than a handful of triple clip planchets and probably, you know, 30 or 40 double clip planchets. There's not many of them around. So well done, Alex, finding that. I guess being in Australia with our uniquely shaped 50-cent piece, you're not going to see a curved clip planchet, obviously. You do see straight clip planchets. You do see ragged end of bar clip planchets. Andrew Parkhurst is just saying that he has one of those. It's a ragged end of bar clip planchet. But of course, you don't get a curved clip planchet because 50-cent pieces aren't round. You end up with a little, you usually end up with a little corner out of it, or 2 corners or 3 corners. Sometimes you end up with one whole edge taken out of it. So 50-cent clips in Australia are quite unique, and I find them very interesting because there's nothing quite like them that you see around the place. So yeah, 50-cent clips, if you get the opportunity to get your hands on one, please do. I think they're very interesting. That's it for today. I hope that you all found that interesting. Do be aware that the RAM releases next week are due on at 8:30 Eastern time, rather than like we usually have our stuff up on midnight, but they're all released at 8:30 Eastern time. The Wiggles sets will be available next Wednesday, which is October the 6th. Please do drop into the shop and get one if you want one. Please support us and not Woolworths. Not that I've got anything against Woolworths, but I'd rather you supported us. And don't chase the new release products and line the pockets of people that are selling them at inflated prices. There's going to be 10,000 rolls of $2 coins and 50,000 C-Mint marks and as many Wiggles folders as you could possibly get your hands on. So please don't chase them and pay inflated prices for them. You'll lose out in the end. There should be stuff around. And look, if you really struggle, please give me a call in the afternoon on release day and have a chat to me, and I'll see what I can do for you. Okay. Happy collecting, everyone. Please stay safe wherever you are, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.